Philip Morris International has been trying to stop people from smoking with these heat and burn IQOS products. Your target is to switch over 1 billion smokers. Give us an update on that target.
First of all, thank you for the opportunity to be here, Vonnie and Guy. Well, we are progressing well. We are reaching almost 6 million people now that has fully switched to this new product, and that's the first product in the portfolio, by the way. I'm sure we'll come back to that. That's equivalent, since we started 2 years ago, of 10,000 people per day. Of course, there is a long way to go. On our side, we're absolutely committed to replace cigarettes with these innovative products that are better alternatives for the men and women who smoke. 1 billion, as you said. And we'll try to do it as soon as possible. We'll put the resources, the investment, and everything behind.
Now, analysts are pretty positive on the stock. That said, it is down more than 20% year to date. And I'm curious as to how you're going to turn that around now that the FDA is looking at vaping type products here in the US. And the cannabis industry seems to be beginning to boom. Do you need to change strategies at all?
No, I think our strategy is very clear. We have the ambition to replace cigarettes with the novel products as soon as possible, and at the same time, clearly, not lose our leadership in the category of cigarettes, because it will decline over time, but I don't want to make any gift to our competitors. I think the stock reaction, in my view, was a bit exaggerated, and I also explained to the market. Because, yes, we had very ambitious objectives for Japan in particular this year. We faced a slowdown in the growth of the category earlier than we expected. But I think we have the right measures in place to address that. And I'm sure as we'll be delivering the results over time, the stock will correct. Is not my concern.
Andre, so just let's dig into a bit more detail there. The stock got really hammered on the news that the story is slowing in Japan. Walk me through what you think will turn it around and how quickly that is going to happen. As Vonnie says, the analyst community are expecting more. How quickly can you turn the situation around in Japan? Is it a marketing story? Is it a product story? What is it that's going to make that product work again?
It's a combination in Japan of continuously improving, obviously, the product and the service to the consumers. But as in any new product category, you move from the more innovative consumers that first adopt the product to now more conservative people, which takes sometimes a bit more time to decide to enter the category. And they need a different type of communication. And we are doing all this. By the way, outside Japan, because everybody got focused on Japan only, we are seeing very rapid growth in Europe. We're extremely happy. We're reaching 1 million people already in the European countries that have switched to IQOS, and more every day. And Russia is also moving very well. So wherever we are, we see growth and rapid growth. So I'm not worried about the longer term, but everybody needs to understand we are going to have volatility. Mm-hmm. Now, the other important thing to understand is we are putting everything reasonably possible behind achieving the objective with these products. Obviously, we are pragmatic, but it will be enormously helpful if appropriate regulation is also implemented in the various countries, because that could certainly accelerate the speed by which consumers switch out of cigarette smoking to the new product.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Just a quick question. How much could the cannabis market be worth? How much are you investing in it?
Look, I think with the task we have in front of us in switching people out of cigarettes, we have enough on our plate, and I don't think we have any plans for the cannabis business today, because, switching 1 billion people around the planet, that's enough. And it's a very big work for the entire organization, for sure.
Talk to us a little bit about IQOS again, these heat and burn products. Can they be as profitable as e-cigarettes? And Wells Fargo, at least, is asking, will they be the winning reduced risk scenario out of all of the ones out there?
Look, first of all, for everybody to understand, the biggest problem we have today in cigarettes is combustion. What creates toxicity in cigarettes and disease is the fact that we burn tobacco. All the new product portfolio we have, including electronic cigarettes, which we have as well, is heating tobacco. It's smoke-free tobacco products or nicotine-containing products. And that's where you see that all of them are better alternatives. And when scientifically substantiated, you can see it very clearly. Actually, we have the submission in front of the FDA. Now, I think we designed heated tobacco products in a way that are the closest today to cigarette smoking in terms of taste, satisfaction, and ritual. And the facts in the different markets in the world show that they have the highest ability to switch consumers. We have 70% average, ranging from 60 to 80, full switching out of cigarettes in using entirely, for example, IQOS product. This is the highest in the category today. So now, every other product in portfolio, there will be consumers that are interested in these products. We have products that are e-vapor products, products that deliver pure nicotine, and all of them over time or in different situations will play a role. I don't think there will be one winner, but today I think the heated category is the one that has the highest potential. The margins are larger than cigarettes to a large degree because we also have more favorable taxation. Many governments recognize these are not cigarettes.
Yes.
And again, I'll come back, some regulatory help from public health and governments will accelerate the whole process.
You have your investor days in Switzerland next week. Investors will be looking for some good news, although I'm sure they seem to be at least happy so far this year with some of your aspirational goals. What will you tell them about the macro trends that we're seeing in trade and also Brexit, which is very much to the forefront today?
Look, I mean, we are all following all these developments. We're not the only company. If you take Brexit, it's very difficult to assess what plans to develop until we understand what really is going to happen. Now, trade wars are not good news in general because we all have global supply chains. But, you have to live with the situation as it is and adapt.
FX headwinds, though, will be a problem, no?
Sure, and it is a problem for us. We had ups and downs in foreign exchange. We are impacted positively or negatively in the beginning of the year, but that's part of the economic life. Okay, we are staying focused on achieving what we have to do.
Andre, what do you make of the rather conflicting messages that we're getting regarding vaping? I'm just curious from your point of view. In the United States, there seems to be concern. The FDA seems to have concerns around vaping, and that has been certainly moving stocks around. But in the UK, for instance, the health secretary is talking about allowing them to be smoked on buses. Very different countries taking very different approaches to vaping. How easy does that make it investing in this sector, in other sectors? Different countries are taking different approaches.
Yeah, okay. As I said, this is uncharted territory, clearly, all these novel products for regulators, consumers, obviously, and everybody else. I think that if we look at the logic of what we're doing here, if in any product category you have products that are scientifically demonstrated to be better than cigarettes, I think they should be made available to the consumers with the right information that is not misleading, so they understand the benefits and the risks of these products, and then they can make their choices. But sometimes, yes, you're right, we're having a debate whether this product should be made available or not. My view is the debate should be how fast this product should be made available and under which conditions, so that people understand what they are and we also minimize the unintended consequences. So I think e-vapor products are better alternatives than cigarettes. There's no discussion about that. But the right regulatory framework will also minimize concerns about teenage use of these products and so on. And that's exactly what we're doing here this week, because we have United Nations Week and we need to establish this conversation with the scientific community, regulators and so on, because I think we should be part, I think we know something about these products, of the discussion on how best to do it.